I'm Dan Lutz, and welcome to another broadcast. This is the broadcast about where we go one, we go all. Love front lines. Those areas of the battle against the cabal that we call the front lines. One of those that we've been following along as one of the fronts in the war against the cabal is the SerialBrain2, and we have another video done by And We Know. And so we will go ahead and review that. So just a few other things. I'm sorry I did not actually have this event listed. So if you didn't see it coming up, it was just my mistake. I thought I'd already had went ahead and scheduled it, but I did not. So I was surprised. I guess I only did the Dank Live schedule for today, which is at 10:30. So I will kind of do a little bit of a review about SerialBrain2 for those who haven't been following along. This relates to the Qanon movement, the posts that are done on the 8chan board by Q, along with the tweets that Trump puts out and the coordination of those. And also, we now see that we now have Prime Minister Abe of Japan, Abe is now participating in this trolling and using the Q posts. It's interesting, this shows a very tight relationship, a friendship between Trump and Abe and Japan as a friend. And there is definitely a battle going there. If you've followed along with Benjamin Fulford, he is in Japan, and he has been giving information about the removal of the Khazarian mafia, from the power structure there. So, Q posts on the 8chan, and Trump tweets, and there is actually a puzzle that is presented. That puzzle is at many different levels, and one of the deepest levels to analyze is coming from SerialBrain2, and it's presented by And We Know. So I encourage you to actually subscribe to And We Know. But we are going to review as we're gonna watch the video. We'll stop it throughout, and I'll give you my perspective on what's being said and how it applies, trying to actually make it a little bit easier for those who haven't seen it from the very beginning, because there's a lot of, you'll ask, watching this, where did that information come from? And the only way for you to really know is to have followed along for the last year on these videos, and how like a certain number represents a phrase. It's a little complicated, so otherwise these videos would be hours long to actually analyze every element. But that's all, that groundwork has already been done. So I will try to kind of maybe bridge some things where we can, but just the important part when you're watching SerialBrain2 is to see what the conclusion is. It's important to see that it comes from a tweet from Trump and a post of Q, and the conclusion of the story that puts together of this puzzle it is important to point out. So okay, let us go ahead. I got to set this up a little bit. So this one is called SerialBrain2, Comey's Arrest Imminent. Really cool, huh? Here we go.
So then let me ask you a question. Catapult, right? The catapult system. Do you like electric or steam? Steam. Who said electric? There's one guy back there. Okay, I really need this information because, we're building carriers, we're building one. They're using an electric catapult and an electric elevator. Number one, I can't imagine in the case of battle, you must be very delicate, okay? And, you know, steam's only worked for about 65 years perfectly. And I won't tell you this because it's before my time by a little bit, but they have a $900 million cost overrun on this crazy electric catapult. I said, what was wrong with steam? I would like to know, all of the folks that know exactly what I'm talking about, the catapult system, steam or electric, ready? Steam, electric, he works for the enemy.
Interesting to see that he's pointed out is that the ones that are for electricity are the enemy. It's pretty strong terms, right, when you're talking about military contractors developing a technology for future boats, right? If you're going to have, if you're being labeled an enemy of Trump, you have to think, well, first of all, 900 million cost overrun sounds like it's a slush fund to replace a technology that is working perfectly.
SerialBrain2 has been putting these decodes out faster than I can make these videos. This is definitely one that you're going to enjoy. I hope you know that Father's Day is right around the corner, and one of the best
Skip that a little bit.
Your Commander-in-Chief, the 45th President of the United States of America. Mr. President,
Comey's arrest imminent. Did you listen to the last two speeches of the maestro during his stay in Japan? Ending his 2019 visit to the land of the rising sun, the maestro stopped by the J.S. Kaga with Prime Minister Abe, where he made his first speech at 10:25 a.m. local time. Then at 11 a.m., he addressed Japanese and U.S. troops on the USS Wasp. As usual, he gave us very important information from the battlefield, but also informed us of what is coming soon. Ready?
3 people are dead and 16 others hurt after a stabbing spree at a bus stop in Japan. Witnesses say the attacker was carrying a knife in each hand, screaming, "I will kill you," while slashing a group of school children. An 11-year-old girl and a man were killed in the attack. The suspect took his own life.
On behalf of the First Lady and myself, I want to take a moment to send our prayers and sympathy to the victims of the stabbing attack this morning in Tokyo. All Americans stand with the people of Japan and grieve for the victims and for their families.
The J.S. Kaga speech was mainly about security and was an opportunity for the president to pray for the victims of the stabbing attack that happened earlier that morning in Tokyo. You know what's going on, right? The Black Hats are flexing their muscles to force negotiations on D-Class. Q3113, what occurred the last time a countdown was presented? False flag. Do you believe in coincidences? Never interfere with an enemy. Ammunition is hard to come by. Q. You'll soon see this is not me speculating. First, the maestro mentions Happy Memorial Day twice. Solving Happy Memorial Day equals 182, and memorial plus stabbing attack, you hit the famous gun-shaped drop, Q1440, with its 4 booms. The price to pay, blackout, and this very important line, a week to remember. We are informed something historic is about to happen. Then the maestro says about the crew of the J.S. Kaga, They love this ship. You all love this ship, right? You feel good about it, don't you? I do too. I feel very safe on this. Did you solve J.S. Kaga? Love? He's talking about James Comey. You caught this love was about the Mueller-Comey episode of the FISA-Gate soap opera, right? What do we do next? Since we know we are in Comey's comms area, we use the Q645 translation template to decode the maestro. He's essentially saying Comey and his buddies are on a sinking ship and they know it. They are not feeling safe because they know what's coming. Do you now see the connection with the stabbing attack? You now know that Comey, just like Jay Carey or Michael, is a sleeper cell operator. Since Japan has joined the alliance, they will try whatever they can do to destabilize it. This is the reason this J.S. Kaga event was scheduled at 21:25, President of the United States, D.C. time. We go to Q2125 and see it's about the efficiency of the wall in Hungary, which is code for security measures taken against terrorism and destabilization. This is confirmed with the purchase of 105 stealth F-35, which, since masonry equals 105, is code for the infiltration of secret societies operating in Japan. The maestro is revealing that tech and expertise is given to Japan to help them fight the cabal. Here is the summarizing image. J.S. Kaga, increased means to fight the cabal. We're going to go over these red letters. E, Emperor, E, Empress, S, Spectacular, A for and.
Again, these are taken from what Trump actually has said. And so he's translated, but he's or take it from a tweet or from a speech. So that's, and then he's laying it out by pulling out the coded words. So again, a little deep to just see right off the surface. Hard to follow, but it does make sense if you followed along.
Notice that is EASE, ease. Victims of the stabbing attack this morning in Tokyo. Viva la Resistance Network. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. J.S. Kaga, great ship. Love this ship. Love. Feel good. I feel very safe on this. Notice James Comey and those who love him, hi Bob, are not feeling well and safe. They know they are in a sinking ship. 105 brand new F-35 stealth. This very ship will be upgraded to carry that cutting-edge aircraft, defend against a range of complex threats in the region and far beyond. See the initials JS? That's like J.S. James, and Kaga with a K, Comey with a K. Code for Japan secret societies. 105 equals masonry, stealth F-35, infiltration of secret societies. Improved defense tech and expertise to fight the cabal. Q1440, the gun shape, upside down, a week to remember, dark to light, blackout necessary.
They love our First Lady and they love our First Lady back home. I want to just tell everyone before we even begin, at ease, just realize we have plenty of time. Plenty of time.
We got plenty of time.
The second speech was made at 2200, President of the United States, D.C. time. We go to Q2200, and it's about the Dems offering to confirm Justice Kavanaugh in exchange for a pullback of D-Class. This means the cabal and its puppets are desperately trying anything they can do to stop D-Class, and confirms the stabbing attack false flag in Japan. The maestro.
So keep in mind that Barr now has the authority to declass anything from the agencies, the intelligence agencies. So this is going to move forward very quickly now. So this has all been a setup, and now Trump is making a worldwide tour, right, covering a lot of the bases. He went to Japan, now he's in England. And England was part of Five Eyes, part of the plot. Steele dossier was the one that was pointing the finger at him for saying that he was the one that that Trump was the one that's doing Russian collusion. That ties in, England into the mix of trying to overthrow Trump. So all of this happening now, where he's making this tour around the world. Trump is now interfacing with them and say, listen, this is what's going to happen. Where are you going to come down? He's negotiating the deal right now.
Started with at ease, at ease. You know from this post that he's referring to the Viva la Resistance Network and the need to swap A and E to get correct French orthography. Swap. Now you know why the maestro picked USS Wasp. The play on the letters A and E is also confirmed by the maestro's insistence throughout his speech on the words stealthy and steam. Notice the EA in stealthy and EA in steam. Did you catch that the best submarines in the world were the nuns who learned the comms? How about we have plenty of time? Yes, he's promising plenty of jail time to members of the Viva la Resistance Network. Then he says, steam has only worked for about 65 years. This 65 is referring to James Comey when he said this.
You call us wrong, but don't call us weasels. We are not weasels. We are honest people. And we did this in that way. Whether you disagree or agree with the result, this was done the way you wanted.
Why? Because weasel equals 65. Knowing this, you can solve the $900 million cost overruns on the electric catapult with the 3 matches for 900 in this image. You thought you could get away with your mean and angry songs. God says otherwise equals 900. No, I don't forgive you. I am not some little weak man you can take advantage of and treat poorly equals 900. I honestly cannot say this any clearer that they are really getting deleted out of creation equals 900. Let's take a closer look at this image. USS WAP.
Just a little point. When he starts talking about they're going to be deleted, right, from reality, right, from everything that they've been creating, right, they are now going to be removed. So now this is why we're in the position to create a new reality, a new world based upon something that is not on all of the sickness that this other place that they were taking us to.
Secret society, Satanists deleted. This picture was posted at 2200 DC time. 2200 panic in DC's. D's offering to kill sexual assault allegation versus Judge Kavanaugh in exchange for immediate pullback of D-class. D-class regardless. And look down here, a quote from his speech from the president, very stealthy. The enemy has a problem with it. They can't see it. D-class regardless. On the top right,
he said, and they can't see it. What is the 2 lines that need to be redacted in the Mueller report, right? What's in there that they're being that they'd like to see? They're asking that they want to see what that information is, so that they know what might be coming at them. So they're frightened, they're panicking, and that's where there's all this drumbeat, right? To get a hold of it. They don't know what's in the D class. They're blinded.
We have the AEAE, plenty of time in red. That means plenty of jail time for members of the Viva la Resistance Network. Then we have skilled Anons in that red letter, big submarines. We're building a lot of them, the best in the world. And then these red letters, steam, 65 years, $900 million. Electric, steam again, electric. Weasel equals 65. And we talked about those numbers, 900 below. Steam equals 58, hammer equals 58. Barr is about to drop the hammer. Do you know who the maestro is talking about here? He's talking about Satanists. How do I know? Because Comey coded his response for his brothers and sisters in the image used in his latest Washington Post op-ed. Did you notice how he wrote dumb lies in the title to send the message he wanted to make a DL equals deal? Read his decoded message very carefully. Notice the image size is 989 by 1484. That 989 has a missing I. Religious freedom also equals having the right to reject Satan, and might is right, the antonym of freedom. You will be hated by everyone on account of my name, but the one who perseveres to the end will be saved equals 989. 9116 equals 98 Jewish. Missing C, there is a minimum of 6 million Satanists on the planet, and that sounds low considering psychopaths account for 1% of the population, equals 1484. 1484 again being the opposite side of that image size. There is more than enough room for both good and evil to coexist without deletion from existence, provided both sides follow the rules of engagement, equals 1484. So they went throughout the lands preaching the hell and fire God spell for every nation, and every nation had heard it, and for this treason they shall be damned, equals 1484. God spell, take out the D and the L, or gospel. Missing I and missing C plus DL, ICDL. Those are the letters you get. ICDL equals 28 equals dare, which equals 28. Decoded message. Like most real Satanists, Comey has a strong belief system. He's not playing. He really believes Satan is God and that his religion is the religion of truth. He calls the gospel the Godspell and believes those who spread it should be punished. Inversion. He believes people should have the right to choose Satan as their God, and that the 6 million Satanists with their affiliated psychopaths should not be deleted from existence as indicated by the president. He is working to appear as a victim and a martyr, and thinks the president will be hated for bringing him to justice. He's therefore challenging the president to dare arresting him. He's calling his brothers and sisters to be faithful to Satan, who he believes will save them.
So we can see that that the battle lines are drawn. You know, literally they're poking at each other. You know, through this hidden message system, right? Just and you know, if you're in the secret society and brought up in this coded system, these things you read very readily. It's not hard for you to decode them. There's other whole lines of things going on when these events are being orchestrated through talking about dogs and giving, say, if you bring up, if you're tweeting about a dog and you say, very good boy or very sweet boy, what does it mean, right? Those words, especially if you capitalize the letters. So it gets very deep into this coded language. So a little hard to piece together when you're looking from the outside. But in this decode here, it's the battle lines being drawn. No idea there were 6 million Satanists. No idea about that. It could be 6,666,666. But whatever the number, it's definitely up there because they've been operating from the shadows for a long time. But considering that, let's say that there was 6 billion, you know, we're at probably closer to 7 or 8 billion. These last numbers were like 7.2 billion people. But so that would be 1 to 1,000, you know, the difference between people who are not Satanists. So it's 1,000 to 1 that we outnumber them. Anyway, so they're trying to make a deal because they don't believe they should be erased from existence. But they wanted to erase us from existence. It's karma. It's basically the function of physics. You know, it is. They've pushed hard this way. It's going to push that hard back against them, and we'll just override them. Especially we're at 1,000 to 1.
Comment. Sorry, Comey. Satan has already ran away from the battlefield. That's what he does. He's not saving you guys. Have you ever wondered why he always stays behind and never leads the charge? Now we know why Comey's book is entitled A Higher Loyalty. and who he's loyal to. These people are stupid. The president is perfectly right to delete from existence any being whose religion is based on killing children, sacrificing them, and abusing them, and therefore eating them. Thank you, President of the United States. No deal. Now look how the maestro shows a picture of McCabe and announces that the dead cat is about to bounce. The second death after the dead cat bounce. Back from Japan after a very successful trip, big progress on many fronts. A great country with a wonderful leader in Prime Minister Abe. Tweeted at 7:22 p.m. Those capital letters in that tweet equal 98. Dead cat bounce equals 98. Second death equals 98. Q1922, mistake in photo collage posted. And Q3122, there's the picture of Andrew McCabe. Decoded message, many will be arrested. The McCabe photo that is provided here does not relate to the current primary target. In the next tweet, he reveals who the cat is. Be ready, arrests coming. Thank you, Japan. Posted at 7:33 p.m. Video length equals 46. Dead again equals 46. Thank you, Japan. 157. Jane Brian Comey, 157. Purple is key, 157. Vatican. Barack Obama's secret, 157. Devil's Triangle and Mother of All Bomb, both equal 157. Q1933, hands up. Q733, United Airlines to Guantanamo Bay. Decoded message, hands up. James Comey is about to be arrested. He's been busy wearing the purple clothes of the Vatican and operating sleeper cells. His connection to the Epstein case will be known soon. Dead again. And just in case you still have doubts, he doubles down and asks you to be ready. Be ready, the arrest's coming. Again, God bless the USA, retweeted at 2214. God bless the USA equals 157. Jane Brian Comey, 157. The video link for this video, 60. Be ready, 60. In Q2214, C lock. C lock clock. Comey lock. Q1014, bot push. They are scared. MZ to step down as chairman. Decoded message. They are trying to negotiate. They are trying to activate their human bots for false flags. Q2780, dead cat bounce. Nothing can stop this. Q. And on May 29th, the maestro started the day reminding us that he always keeps his promises. You see in this tweet, Republicans cannot allow themselves to again lose the Senate seat in the great state of Alabama. This time it will be for 6 years, not just 2. I have nothing against Roy Moore. And unlike many other Republican leaders, wanted him to win, but he didn't and probably won't. And then that tweet continues, highlighted Roy, judges and Supreme Court justices are highlighted. You look over here, the capital letters add up to 295. The nightmare is finally over equals 295. Nothing equals 87. Justice equals 87. You have a picture of you-know-who. In Q640, loss of an ally. Again, reminder, those capital letters relate to the first part of that.
Just an interesting point. They said, and there's a picture of you-know-who. It appears that there's starting to be a theme of those that should be unnamed, those that you don't speak their name anymore. And this may be part of erasing them from existence. Just a thought.
Tweet at 6:40 a.m. on 29 May. Then we go back down to that tweet where the highlights were Roy, judges, and Supreme Court justices. And those capital letters add up to 164. You can't judge me, 164. Go up, not down, 164. Roy equals 58 equals hammer. Decoded message. The hammer is about to drop on satanic criminals. Comey's arrest will be the beginning of the end. The first domino to fall and the end of our nightmare. The cabal will lose a key ally. They tried to judge the president and make him go down. Instead, they are going down and the president goes high. Fishing is fun, and Comey is a pretty nice piece. To add to that decoded message, Q3040, when they go low, we go high. And Q1840, reminder, fishing is fun. These people are stupid. Q. Do you still have doubts? The booms are coming. Buckle up. Booms en route. Bring it on. Nothing changes from the Mueller report. There is insufficient evidence, and therefore, in our country, a person is innocent. The case is closed. Thank you. Posted at 10:37 a.m. Capital letters 108. Bring it on. 108. Booms en route. Q1037. Decoded message. Need I say more? Q2344. Are you ready to see arrests? Are you ready to see pain? Are you ready to be part of history? Q.
It looks like it's close. So we can also look at what how Comey has been acting as well. It's pretty clear that this is coming at a time where it's perfectly aligned. And to see this tour that Trump is making around the world to specific leaders, working with allies, going up against the ones that are supposed to be allies, but thinking that they are the ones that are in control of their colony, England. There's a lot to this. To the country of America and how it was set up, that actually was tried in a way that was much different than anything else has occurred. You have to understand that the states coming together, these are real estates that all had an appointed governor, right? And as they declared independence, what did it end up looking like? And what were the agreements that were made? If by standing back, we can see that it's a little bit more murky, than we may have grown up with. And now, knowing it was actually completely replaced by a corporation, I believe it was 1862, Washington, D.C., as an incorporated entity in Puerto Rico. So and who's behind this and who's owners of this are nobilities, monarchs. So did we actually escape at this time? Do they consider us part of their possessions? And this is something that needs to change. We need to really be clear about what has been laid out there in the world, what our impressions of reality are, and what the legal nuances that were underneath it that basically allow them to do things against what we believe is right and legal. But actually they have the ability to do those things that we consider not right and not legal, because they are legal in the system that we don't see. And that's what is quite wrong about this whole system. Everyone has to be in the open architecture, closed source environment. Closed source means that they can't tinker with it once it's set up. Open meaning all of the bells and whistles and levers and construction and cogs and wheels are all known, and how they're assembled and how they're put together there's a blueprint there, and anyone can see it. It's not obscured. It's not creating a system that makes it, you don't know what's happening over here because of what's over here. It's this system we must create has to be, everyone must be able, of average intelligence, to be able to decipher it and act appropriately. And when we take a stand on something that actually is the stand that you are intending to make, and not people in the background chuckling, saying, "Oh, this guy doesn't really know that he's referring himself as a birth certificate entity, and he's the trustee. Ha ha ha! He has to pay all the fees." Whatever the deception. So it's good that Trump is there in England, meeting with the Queen and deciding how to proceed. D-class concerns England. They're the ones that are screaming, don't declassify, because the game is exposed. At that point, England's role in this is exposed. It's very, very, nice dinner they had there at Buckingham Palace. I watched that this morning. It's a grand ballroom, very, very much of wealth and power. Though this whole imagery that's projected, an exchange of friendly words between one another. But it's not all about the state dinner. It's about what they're going to discuss behind. And when you have North Korea, separated out, Iran about ready to separate out from the Cabal Pact, and England to be exposed in a declassification, things will change. I think Trump is there to let them know this is going to go down, and things are going to change from this point forward, and it's not going to be along the Satanist route. If you go back and you see where communism came from, you go back to the Satanists that would put that into place, you can trace it to England and to the seer that the Queen was using to harness the demons. So it all goes. This is so deep. So many red pills you have to take to just get to this level to understand that this is happening at this much grander scheme. So we get to peer in with SerialBrain2. I urge you, please subscribe to his channel, and we know. To find all the channels I suggest, they're on the wwg1wga.lov website under channels. Please look there. You'll find SerialBrain2. You can always just search on it as well. But we are looking at something that is unfolding in such levels that if you're just normally watching the TV, right, and looking at the state dinner between Trump and the Queen, good relationship there, right? That's what they're projecting. Those are the optics. But what is actually happening? By the way, at that state dinner, sitting there was Mnuchin. So he's not gone, but interesting that he is in England. It's important to see this is happening. If I don't, it'll be interesting to see how the deal progresses at this point, because England is the center of the financial world, the center of banking. I should actually say the City of London, not London, but City of London. The area like Washington, D.C., that is inside its own territory, its own sovereign territory, in which the Queen has to ask for permission to enter. So this system is now being challenged, and there is going to be great changes. So D-class is about to happen. Comey is going to be arrested, and then Brennan, and then Clapper, and so on. Loretta Lynch, they're going to be arrested. That leads to the unnamed ones, the ones that we're not naming anymore because they're to be erased from history, because once it's known exactly what they've done, no one's going to want to ever speak their names. The tragedy of everything and the situation the world is in that has been obscured from everybody's view. It will be made known, but this is the way we can move past it. There has to be justice served. And that's what I think Trump is doing right now, informing them justice is now going to be coming. Things are now going to be changing. So it's going to be a very interesting power play that's happening, because, as I said, D-class is ready and Trump is out there. This is not an accident. This is not, well, we'll schedule these at the time of when the D-class. No, it was planned. It was probably before Trump came into the office, believe it or not. For this time, maybe it was supposed to happen in April or May and June. That doesn't really matter. But to this time, where all the events have been lined up, D-class, nothing stopping Barr. He can declass at any time. Fire anyone that is going to stand in the way. Boom, declass happens. And there's no legal reasons to stop any of it. They can't stop it. And Trump is outside the office and there to represent that these things are now about to happen. You want to talk about making a deal. What kind of deal could be made at that level? Q says no deals. But there is going to be the unwinding of all of this cabal. So the ones that are going to be in trouble are going to be put out of power. Anyway, this is a fantastic time for everyone to participate. I appreciate everyone who's been joining me and going through this and analyzing these with me. This is just another front we need to be aware of. Please join me in Where We Go One, We Go All.love. You can subscribe at $1.11 or $8.88 a month, or for the year $99.99. So everything is well. It does help. So please participate in that way if that's all that you can do. But please do your own YouTube channel. We got to get this information. Pass these links out. So let me go ahead and I'm going to give the link out for this broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and post it in Where We Go One, We Go All.love, WWG1, WGA.love in Telegram. We'll start there. There's a lot of posting going on there right now. Oh, by the way, we have 63 members in that site, so we've grown by about 10 in the one day. So there are some things that are moving forward there. So if anyone would like to participate, I see Jim Baum was in there posting away as well. But anyone is welcome to join. The link is there. I will go ahead and post it in the YouTube chat. Get to it. See if people are able to. I don't know if it will give the whole Hangouts there. Anyway, it does seem to be a problem whenever we post the links there. It just takes it to a Hangout, but not to the actual broadcast. So it's a problem. I'm going to break this up into two. You can take both pieces and cut and paste them together and to make one. If that will help you, because that first one I doubt will actually get you there. So again, if you want to jump on, please do. I will go through the chat and see if there's any particular questions. I'll share my screen. Make it large, first of all. Okay, and now I'll share my screen. And we have Dank Live coming up in about 45 minutes. Start another broadcast. There we go. Okay. Well, I forgot we're missing the top. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out so that we can catch the top. That's the one problem. When I zoom in, I lose the top of the chat, super chat. Oh no, that actually was it. It just usually it starts a little bit earlier than that. That's why I was just looking at the time code. That's all right. We'll get in here. Oh, there we go again. Can't get the top. Oh, there we got it. All right. Tolerance, please. We are on the same team here. See, that's what I mean. It looks like I'm missing the part of it because it looks like, where did that come from? If that's the first chat. So interesting. Also, when I came in, I actually did say something. So yeah, the chat is missing a part. See? It's one of those things. It's like, is there something that was said there that they wanted to take out? So they just clipped out part of the super chat. So the first message here at 10:14, and I know I went in and I said, I think, hello, something like that. My hello is not there. All right, let's go up. So Pompeo, not Gallus Bilderberg, but present message delivered. I wish I knew what his message was. If anyone has any links on that, please send it to me in Telegram. My Telegram information is down below. They acted strange when leaving. Interesting. Yeah, please send me some information about that. So nameless, I didn't know that was written on JFK's boat. Thank you for telling us. See? Things from before. Can't get there. Okay. Selling secrets to China, financial assassination, America, lucid dreamer. Okay. We can go look at that. That's lucid dreamer is where I got a lot of Thomas Williams broadcasts when I first started following him. I thought that's where I got him. I didn't know how to find him on his People's Club channel. Now he has one. It's a Tommy Williams as a YouTube channel. Those of us from Create Change, TH, I have decided to use Dan's chat to further progress the non-reality of the GCR, RV GCR. Oh, thank you. I'm all for doing that. These are programs designed by the clowns to eliminate 90% of the Earth's populations. Yes. It is, and this is a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people that have been in the GCR. My friends in the GCR, they know what I'm doing, but they can't. It's very hard for them to accept this and let go. They're so tied into it, and I understand. Someone said in one of my chats in the Kringle group, said that I'd given up on the GCR, and I turned against it or something like that. And I said, yes, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. So you should be also willing to admit when you're wrong. Don't just double down. It's not getting you anywhere. If you think you have to maintain your position for some reason that's going to be beneficial to you, it's not. You've been already spinning your wheels for way too long. Most people, if you look at how long you've been waiting, if you really think, if someone came to you and said, okay, this is all going to happen, but at a certain point, past this point, you will just absolutely drop it and never look back, would you have picked a year you'd like commit to doing something? 2 years? 3 years? 5 years? I first even heard anything about it in 2014. That's 5 years ago. So I started looking into it. 2015, I got into it. big time. From 2015 to 2016, I had 20 trips to China. You know, I was fully committed, fully learned a lot about stuff going on in the world. Things that are very, very deep. Do I know everything? No. Can I still be wrong about a lot of things? Of course. Because all this stuff has been hidden. They don't want to let you know where the importance of, say, Asia played in the formulation of the League of Nations and the United Nations. They don't want. They want to downplay that. They want to make it all about the West, all about the banking system, the Federal Reserve. It's hard to let go. All right, so let's see, where else are we? Oh, you know, I'm just thinking, I was remembering Tui. Tui, you're welcome to join as well if you're watching here, but if we can wait, I will send the link to you for the Dank Live about half an hour from now. What is the RV? That's currency revaluation. Lost and found. Question. What did the Queen sign over to President Trump today? I do not know. Do you know? I didn't know she signed anything over to President Trump. Interesting movie coming in June called Strange Angel. Okay. Find it interesting, the series Lucifer, television show, where the devil, decides to get out of hell for a while and take a vacation in Los Angeles. Either place for the devil would be a good place to vacation, but it basically humanizes him and makes reasons why and explains some reasons why it's not such a bad guy. In the end of the series, or of the last season, he goes through the whole transformation of looking literally like the devil with the demon wings as opposed to angel wings, and horned entity and the whole thing. Interesting. Yeah, just giving their point of view, right? Trying to make things normalized for Satanists. Let's make 20,000 Colbert Report truth bombs. Colbert Report, leave your suggestions. That's interesting. Interesting idea. Please explain more about what these truth bombs are and what the focus of them would be. I've been trying to eat and type, everyone. That's dangerous. Don't eat and type at the same time. Yes. Okay. I usually disappear when Dan plays Serial Brain. Oh, I'm sorry, John. Sorry you don't like the review of SerialBrain2. Well, I think it's important. I understand some people don't want to, and some people may want to watch it directly, and that's also okay. I just want to give some perspective on it. Catch the people that don't know about it. Trump is the belly of the blue dragon. Oh, is in the belly of the blue dragon right now. Yeah. Yeah, the blue dragon is the House of Windsor. I think that maybe Mnuchin was waiting for Biden to win an election. It's just a very, it makes sense that Mnuchin would be there in England for this event, right? Considering that's the location of all banking is the City of London. So, there are definitely some power plays happening right now. Area 17, Ground Zero, True Reporting, In Pursuit of Truth, and RTV are free. The black the Black Patriot, I think you meant. The Patriot Hour, Space Shot 76, and SerialBrain2. Yeah, all those are good. I love SerialBrain2, and you know, channel does an amazing job. Yeah, their quality of production value has increased dramatically in the last just couple months. Obviously, as a good editor and dealing with graphics and music and turning this into more more eye-catching, more people will be able to catch up and be intrigued by it. And when you get into some of it, it's some of these latest ones are very hard to follow where things are. So you have to just allow the information to come through without trying to get into the analyzing where he's getting it, because it's very deep and covered way in the past. Yeah, SerialBrain2 has been part of Q from the very beginning. SerialBrain2, I believe, comes from, I believe, a Reddit group, if I'm not mistaken, and it's and we know is taking that information and presenting it, to us in YouTube. Yep. Jumped up from there. I lost the place again. When that happened. Oh, there we go. When I was 19 years old, rodent sculptor who created the Thinker inspired me when he said, "Strive not for effect, but consciously to do well." Okay, let me. If you're all into the Thinker, that sculptor. So, which is the pose that you remember that the statue took? Was it with the fist in the forehead or the fist like this? What is the Thinker pose? This is a Mandela effect puzzle. Okay, which one do you remember? Yeah, so yes, Tank is probably just finished up his program now, so about half an hour now we'll be starting the Dank Live. You think I'm burning out? I've got some back pain. Sitting too long. I need more exercise, get some stretched out. But I'm still kicking. Oh, thank you there, Nicholas. Dan is fired up and full steam ahead. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm burning out at all, quite frankly. It's right now it's more about maneuvering to find a way of presenting information that makes it be able to reach out further. We need to get the message out. So this may not be the overall best format, because again, SerialBrain2 is a little deep for people. Maybe more highlights would be a little bit better, but that would take more pre-production to get set up. Now, I watched this ahead of time, but usually if you do full pre-production on something, you're going to then take what you first watch and then, okay, pick out this point, this point, this point, edit them out as separate sections and get them ready and then put them into a dialogue. So it's all about, how do we do this in the flow? And it takes some maneuvering and adjusting. The splitting up of this broadcast to take a break about now. I'm just finishing out our little chats here, and I will then shut it down and wait for Tank to get ready to come on. and we'll do that next run. This is a change in format in the way we're presenting the information. Hopefully, this is a much better way than a 3-hour block, right? So we end up with 2 broadcasts, or actually with 3 coming out since when we started this together. I had a sporadically over the last few months before I started with Tank. You know, there's times when I did broadcasts every day, and I did 90 days straight before. You know, I've had over 500 videos in the last 2.5 years that I put out. But you know, coming up where we start with this 1, right, and now we're at 3 broadcasts. So this is not broadcast, but videos that go up, and they're broken down into different sections. So this helps to, since they're more specific, more narrowed focus, this helps people to pick up on it. So that's kind of what we're doing. But I do get somewhat tired of sitting, not of getting the information out. Did Tank move on? Move on where? Dan, you are finally understanding what I was trying to share with you about the Hangout links when you first met me. You didn't have to explain that. I already know all about it. You know, Hangouts is not my preferred method. You know, it just happened to be the system that we fell into using, and if people, you know, sometimes new things are hard for them to work from. So I started using, before I started this with Tank, I started to do Hangouts with others in where we were doing more on the Kringle coin and things like that for probably the previous 6 months. Or before that, I was using Zoom. I much prefer Zoom, and I actually think it's probably a much better platform to do this from. And also probably, you know, keep Tank on longer. Okay. G-Man, this is where we go. We go all.love show. Tank shows up on the Tank show later. That's it. So now we've got 3. We've got Speak Up with Tank. We have where we go all.love Frontlines, and then we have Dank Live. All right, and then, you know, someone out here can be doing their show, and we can add it to the repertoire, right? We can get more information out. We expand. I want to point out in the Kringle Society, one of the methods in which it grew to 3.3 million members was because of an effort that was put out there to get people to do testimonials. Within a 3-month period, there was 22,000. I think it was maybe a little bit longer than 3 months, but I looked somewhere around 3-month period. I remember it was over 20,000. So we had all these testimonials done, right? And that was a concerted effort. And then from there, it went into broadcasters, where we actually rewarded the members that wanted to do a consistent broadcast by giving cookie points that they could redeem for coin. All about how do you generate coin, right? Not about buying coin so much, though buying it was important in our internal economy. It was about how do you build a community, and broadcasting is there. There's a weekly broadcasters meeting. There's a broadcast schedule that goes 24/7. You can go to the website and you can find a broadcast going on, and you can click on it anytime during the day and find somebody talking about Kringle. Do you think that might be helpful if we were doing something along the same lines? Robert Allen, where's your broadcast? Hint, hint. All right, so we'll continue here. Okay. Let's see. Dan, this is a better way of doing it, I feel. Okay, great. I'm glad you like it. Bilderberg members caught acting very strange. We are changed, we are changed. Now send a link in Telegram. I'd really like to see that. Send to me personally so I know what you're talking about. I can't get to all the videos that get posted in the wwg1wga.love Telegram group. There's a lot of posting going on there. So, but I can't go through all of it. But if there's something specific that you want me to see, send me a video link and say, look at time code, this many minutes, this many seconds, or this many hours, minutes, and seconds. 00:01:23, whatever the time code is. That way I can go to exactly what you want me to see. And I can do it. If you give me a 3-hour video and say it's in there, me grabbing a 3-hour block to see it is probably not going to happen. Okay. All right. The queen is not a legit queen. She was born out of wedlock and not a royalty. Well, okay. Things are not all as we see them, right? And everyone knows her as the queen. Okay, so so John Mello here is saying, I love the content. A lot of us have been around for a while. I believe that in the Matrix, Shady Groove, Praying Medic, SerialBrain2 are shills. Well, the thing is, everyone can be suspect. Everyone. And you have to filter through the information. Listen, I'll pick up on Alex Jones stuff. Do I think that he's now, the shill, the paid the controlled opposition, on the side of the cabal? Yeah, I think so. There's a part of a plan. Since just think about, they were part of exposing Bilderberg, but I knew about Bilderberg way before that. Don't you think they would more or less want to manage the idea of Bilderberg? Bilderberg was outed a long time ago, but to use Alex Jones as a way of focusing on who they are, to bring them into the public light, so that the idea presented is that there is a group around the world controlling the world already. We have a world government. Sounds like, oh, but we don't like them. We don't like them. Alex Jones pointing this out. So we can see that this controlled opposition has there's a method and a plan to do something, and I think that's to reveal the Bilderberg group, or that there's a cabal that's controlling the world, so that it's already a thing in the eyes and minds and ears of the people, that there is a worldwide government already, and then we don't really need these localized governments. They're all corrupt anyway, and buy into this idea of the world government. So, we've we can continue on this. I'm gonna sign off now, and I'll see you back here in about 15-20 minutes. Catch you tomorrow or later.